Warning. The following video presentation contains scenes of extreme deliciousness. Failure to either eat first or bring a snack to consume during the presentation could result in wanting to lick the screen or in some way act the fool. Ain't nobody want that. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, boys and ghouls. DK's making a snack today. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? DK's making a snack today. Shove it right into your mouth. DK's making a snack today. What's it gonna be? Is he making it for me? DK's making a snack today. It's time for tactical snacking with DK.
Hey folks, how's it going today? It's been an interesting day and a half or so. Vera hasn't been feeling too hot, and it has resulted in some bodily emissions that have been fun to deal with. But we're here. We're cooking, so we're doing all right. And as you can, I don't know how many people were able to see it, but we got a brand new loading screen featuring our little dumpster fire nightlight. There it is. So that's now on and running. So yeah, it's in the intro reel. The opening video, I cut out just a little bit of it. That countdown just kind of felt a little redundant, so I pulled that out and redid kind of the logo / screen and everything. And so been busy working on that and doing some other things, but yeah, so far so good. Today we are making Bibimbap, aka Korean mixed rice. This is a super commonly known outside of Korean dish of rice with kind of a whole bunch of stuff that tends to be mixed into it. It is very much Korean comfort cooking. It is very much like a taste of home, and everybody kind of has like their own recipes, and there's a bajillion ways to make it. So I mean, it's very much home cooking, which is kind of my jam, and so I'm looking forward to making it, because it's been a little bit since I've made Bibimbap. It's been a little while, so I'm looking forward to doing it again. And then in a twist, instead of using my rice maker that I have, we're going to use the Instant Pot. So this is going to get interesting real quick, because I don't have a backup batch of rice made just in case. So if that fails, then that's kind of where we're at. But from everything that I read, it sounds like it should work out just fine, and in theory it will take less time than my rice cooker. In this particular case, the rice that we're using is a short grain, actual Korean rice. Well, Korean by way of Sacramento. Richun, I've had this bag for a little bit, but this is the rice that we're using today. And per package directions, for every 1 cup of rice, oh, that didn't pop up. For every cup of rice, it says, oh, I see what's going on here. Let's re-enable. There we go. And there's the music. Let's see. Okay, all that's there. Forgot that I had turned off a bunch of things. Yeah, turned off a whole bunch of things because I was using that last night when I filmed the little nightlight. So, like, why suddenly is like nothing on? Like, what's going on here? Just something was wrong. Anyways, so we're gonna make 2 cups dry of rice, which means that we're gonna need 2.5 cups of water. And then per what I have read, the Instant Pot for literally 0 minutes. Sounds a little weird, and I thought it was weird. I thought it was a total typo, but then I started reading through further into the directions and into the comments, and really what it is that the rice gets cooked while it's coming up to pressure, and then we let it go through a natural cool down for about 20 minutes. And so it's during that time frame that the rice actually gets cooked, so it doesn't have to get up and then hold at that high pressure. And to be honest, like, the high pressure makes total sense. There's a pretty famous documentary that was on Netflix, might still be there. It's Hero Dreams of Sushi, and it came out, I don't remember how long ago, but it was one of those things that it kind of took like the foodie world by storm, and tells the story of this gentleman who owns a sushi restaurant in a train station in Japan, and it's arguably, or at least it was arguably, hey Vegas Squid, what's going on? Long time no see, buddy. No, we're making bibimbap today, the mixed rice. But the guy's restaurant's arguably been called like the best in the world, and part of what made it so much that was the fact that he scrutinized even the tiniest of details when it came to the food and honed his craft over the course of many years. Well, in making, yes, that's exactly the one I'm talking about, Vegas Squid. When they're making the rice, it was a very specific rice from a very specific place, literally a specific farm kind of thing. And when they went to make it, they made it in the traditional kind of pot that they had on the stove, but then they put the big wood lid on it, and then they loaded up a ton of weight on top of it in order to get some extra pressure into it to cook the rice. So, thus doing this in an Instant Pot makes total sense that way. Yeah, it's the hardest rice to make just because it's the variety where it's grown, like everything else, it just requires a whole bunch of care in order to make it. But in our case, we're not using that rice. We're using that re-chun rice. So the first thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to get this washed and then into the Instant Pot so it can be doing its thing. And then we're going to move on to all the other components of the bibimbap. Specifically, we're going to be doing chicken with it, whereas most of the time you see beef come up as kind of like the #1 protein to go into it, but you can very easily use pork, chicken. If you wanted to do shrimp, no problem. Tofu, kind of whatever. It's really a way for families to use kind of like leftover little side dishes and stuff that they have, and just kind of put it into one big bowl and mix it up. And so there's a pretty big variety of flavors and textures and colors, and so it's a good time to eat. But since we made tri-tip on Tuesday, and then last night we had tri-tip tacos, I thought we should probably switch it up and move on to chicken. And so that's what we're going to do. And instead of doing like thinly sliced bulgogi or whatever, even though it's going to have kind of a bulgogi marinade, which recipes are going to be there. We're going to kind of finely chop it up so it's ground. Then that way it's significantly easier to actually mix into the rice when we go to plate it up kind of at the very end. And then once we get those things done, we're going to move on to all the other little components that are going into it. Because there's a bunch of little things, but to be honest, like each one of them is a pretty simple preparation. There's just a whole bunch of them, and so it kind of adds up. So like bean sprouts, spinach, carrot, onion, mushroom. We're going to top it with a fried egg, zucchini, radish salad, as well as a cucumber salad. So it's a whole bunch of little things that are going to be going around the outside. And when we plate it up, we're going to make it look all nice and pretty and everything before we get it all mixed up. And then we also have the sauce that we need to mix up too. But we got everything, and we're ready to go. So that being the case, I just cracked open that bag of rice, so it literally filled up my big container here. And okay. And so, like I said, per the package directions, it says to use 1 1/4 cups of water per. So that is what we're going to do for that. As for my washing regimen, it depends. You want to wash it until the water runs clear, and unfortunately I don't have a camera over at the sink or else I'd actually show it, but it can take anywhere from 6 to 8 rinses in order to get the water to come out nice and clear, which is really kind of what you want. The idea is that you don't want to leave it in the water for too long while you're washing it, so it doesn't soak up that particular water. You want it to soak up the water that you're actually cooking with, and I'm going to be using the good water the bottled stuff that we have. That's the stuff that we're going to put into it. So let me get going on this. trying to get some of the excess water out of it, and then I'm going to let it drain for a little bit before getting it going. But washed up pretty nicely. The initial water was really, really milky. But by the end, it was pretty dang clean. Hey, Ladintha, what's going on? Yeah, we're making bibimbap tonight, Korean mixed rice. So right now we're just getting the rice ready to go, and then we're gonna make it in the Instant Pot. First time doing so. I did, however, put in the amount of water that I needed earlier just to make sure that I hit the right level. Hey, Zodic, what's going on? So then that way I made sure that, because I got a really big Instant Pot, I mean, it's kind of the biggest one that they make, and I didn't want to have so little liquid in it that the middle of the pot kind of poked up out of the water, but which is why I kind of tested it earlier today just to make sure that it would work. So here's crossing our fingers that this works out good. If not, what it probably means is that I need to make more rice in this large one, and then maybe just get a smaller Instant Pot if I'm gonna make rice in it with any frequency. But I mean, I have my Korean rice cooker, so it's kind of like, I don't know. Anyways, that's kind of where we're at with that sort of thing. Moving on to getting the chicken marinating. I need, not that, this. Okay, so the recipe's up on the Discord. For the chicken. And I decided that instead of like trying to thinly slice it, do it kind of like bulgogi style, that I would do it ground, and then stir fry that up. Come on. So then that way it would integrate into everything a bit better. So that is, for me, it was 3 chicken thighs, deboned and deskinned, with most of the external fat removed. I did leave some of it on, which is kind of obvious when you look at it, but I did want a little bit of fat on there just because, well, fat is flavor. And so then that way when I went to fry it up, that it kind of had a little bit of its own natural fat in there, as opposed to having to add additional oil. So let's see. For the marinade, I need soy sauce, lemon juice, brown sugar, honey, rice wine or mirin or white wine, garlic, ginger, sesame oil, black pepper, and sesame seeds. So let's get, there's lemon and black pepper. And ginger, garlic, because I'm going to have to do a lot of garlic today, because just about every one of the vegetable sides, prepping all of them is pretty simple. It's going to be, you know, cutting them up, stir frying them with a little bit of oil and salt and garlic, and then maybe finishing it off with just a touch of sesame oil. And I mean, that's effectively how they're all prepped. Now the easy way would be to just kind of mix up all the veg together and stir fry them up that way. But with the way that I'm doing it, we're gonna make it look pretty, which means that we're gonna keep them separated, and then at the very end when we go to plate, we're going to make it look all real nice before it gets mixed up and goes into the tum tum. Alright, so sesame seeds. Sesame oil. Let's see. How much sesame oil did it want? Tablespoon. Alright. I'm just keeping that out because I'm going to need quite a bit of that. Alright. And then let's see. Soy sauce, lemon juice, brown sugar, honey, sake, garlic, ginger. Okay. So, brown sugar. What is that, like a tablespoon? Oop. And honey. Honey gets used a lot in, at least from my experience in Korean cuisine. Honey gets used a ton, as does, you see like malt syrup, or oligosaccharides, as they're called. Stuff like this. This kind of thing gets used all the time. And let's see, mirin. About a tablespoon. I think. Yeah. About a tablespoon of garlic. And I might as well get out the garlic press because, like I said, we're going to be using quite a bit of garlic today. Probably. I'm not going to worry too much about cleaning that out. Okay, so garlic, lemon juice, literally just put this thing away maybe an hour ago. That is 2 teaspoons. There's that. And we need soy sauce. I'm using, actually I got a bottle of Sempio 701. So that's what I'm using. That's about 3 tablespoons. I'll leave that out because I'm pretty sure I'm going to need it a little bit later. And let's see. Ginger. Ginger's the last thing. Okay. How's everyone's week been going? I mean, it's almost over for most people. Curious what people are going to be up to this weekend. I will be most likely adulting. So things like yard work, housework, etc. Leave this out because I'm pretty sure I'm going to need ginger for something. So, until I've confirmed I no longer need it, we're going to leave it out. Alright. Now, we get to see if this was a horribly bad idea and whether or not I overloaded the container here. Now let's turn it down, at least initially, just to... Seems to be going okay. Got some bigger chunks, but it looks like it's working okay. Alright, so we've got some bigger chunks, we've got some smaller chunks. I am going to call it good. Pop this in the fridge until we need it. Alright. Okay. Alright, let's mix up the sauce. Let's see. Alright, so for the Bibimbap sauce, again, if you want to play along at home, the recipes can be found there. And let's see, half cup of gochujang, which is Korean chili paste. And then quarter cup sesame oil, quarter cup of honey, quarter cup of toasted sesame seeds, 2 tablespoons of water, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 4 teaspoons of cider or rice vinegar, and 4 teaspoons of minced garlic. Well, since I need to do a fair amount of minced garlic, I'm gonna get a whole bunch of garlic prep now, and then we can move on to kind of everything else, because really, yeah, garlic is in just about everything, so it just behooves me to do all of it right now. I think after we get this garlic prep, we'll get the rice into the instant pot. Should have drained well enough by now. Normally when I make the Japanese rice that I have, my usual modus operandi, I guess. How I usually end up making it is after washing it, I let it drain for half an hour before putting it into the rice cooker with the water and letting it sit for an additional half hour before hitting start. That has yielded, in my experience, kind of the best results for that rice. But this is a different rice. It's a totally different variety and everything else. So it's going to be a little bit different. But like I said, I'm going off of the recommended water amounts that was on the bag. So that's what I'm using. So that might be enough garlic. At least I hope so. Okay. I think I read somewhere that Koreans consume more garlic per capita than anywhere else on the planet, which I totally believe. So much garlic. So we're gonna break out our old friend, the butane burner, when it comes time to prep, like cooking all the individual ingredients and everything. Just so then that way it's way easier to, because we can do everything over here. It's easier to watch, and it'll be a good time. Okay, last one. Get all the extra stuff out. We got a little extra on the board. Alright. So we'll go clean this up. If I don't get the garlic out of the little holes in here, it just gunks everything up, dries out, becomes impossible. Alright, that's nice. Okay, Vera, you can be a girl go out. Okay. Garlic is prepped. Let a little bit of water out. Okay. rice into the Instant Pot. Nice and even. Alright, so we need 2.5 cups of water, since I'm doing 2 cups of rice. So we're going to be blanching the bean sprouts as well as the spinach. So I'm going to be using the colander as well as the bowl to... Hey, Scott Connor, welcome, buddy. We're going to be using the colander and the bowl in order to cool down the bean sprouts and the spinach really quickly, so then that way they don't overcook. Alright. Okay, it's evened out. There's a layer of water. Everything looks good. Alright, let's plug this in. And let's see if it actually lets me do it for 0 minutes. That was one of the things that the comments had, well, the writers of that blog, what they had said is that in the event it doesn't let you do it for 0, which it looks like mine does, they said to go ahead and just set it for 1 minute, and as soon as it actually comes up to pressure, go ahead and hit cancel, and then that should work for that. Okay. Garlic drop back in the fridge. Do not need that anymore. Okay. Since we've got our stuff ready to go, we can make the sauce for the bibimbap. That's really half of what makes the mixed rice is the sauce. And there's a bunch of different recipes for it. There's a bunch of different ways to do it. Most of them are based on using gochujang, the chili paste. However, there are versions that are primarily soy sauce based. There are others that are doenjang based. That's the Korean fermented soybean paste. It just kind of depends on your personal preferences. There are ones that actually have meat mixed into them. But for our purposes, we don't need to do that. Okay. So, half cup of gochujang. This thing is really great for measuring out sticky things and stuff that generally tends to be a bit of a pain to try to measure out. Okay. half cup of that. And then we need a quarter cup of honey. Actually, what? Quarter cup of honey, quarter cup of oil, the sesame oil. That big is. Twist on there. It's probably a little bit more of the honey, but that's okay since that chili paste tends to pack a punch, and so I am okay with having some additional sweetness in there in order to kind of balance out that heat. This is just a big old tin of sesame oil. And the and whisk overboard. Awesome. That's alright. We can go get the rinse. Water's nice and hot, so. Okay. There's that. A little bit of overage. That way. Alright. Sesame seeds, water, soy sauce, vinegar, and garlic. 4 teaspoons of garlic. Go. Then 2 tablespoons of the soy sauce. Okay. 2 tablespoons of water. And we need the rice vinegar and sesame seeds. Nope. I'm going to leave that out because I'm definitely going to need that. And sesame seeds. So I had like my little container of toasted sesame seeds here, and these are sesame seeds that I toasted up a little bit earlier today. When it comes to adding sesame seeds to kind of anything, I like to crush them. So then that way they're not quite as big, and I don't know, I just prefer the texture and kind of the flavor release from it, so I'm just give these a crush before adding them in. Uh-oh. Who's raiding? Donnie Burbage? What is up? What is going on, Donnie Burbage and fam? How's everybody doing today? Hopefully all is well with all y'all. Today we're busting out some Bibimbap, which is Korean mixed rice if you're unfamiliar with it. The rice is currently going in an Instant Pot, which is just underneath the camera here that you can't see. And we're currently making the sauce for the Bibimbap, which is what we're mixing up. How was the stream today, Donnie? What were you up to? Were you playing some music, playing some games, writing some stuff? What's going on? Hey, Rick Samurai, thanks for the follow, man. That sauce is looking really tasty. Yeah, just playing some games. Oh, right on. Cool. What games were you playing today? Okay, it is at temp, and now it gets to cool. So the rice in the Instant Pot, this is my first time making it this way. I was told put 0 minutes on the timer, and then let it do a natural cool down for 20 minutes. So I'm going to set a 20-minute timer now. There we go. What do we do? Oh, just guitar. Oh, okay. Sorry, I misread that as playing some games. That's awesome. Ugh, I've been busy. But I imagine you've also been quite busy yourself, so it's all good. I appreciate the raid. Thank you so much, Raiders, for coming by, checking things out. I know this is very different than most of the time what you know, you're used to watching. Mostly, I would imagine, music streams or gaming streams and the like. So I appreciate it. This is kind of my jam. This is what I do as I cook. Can't play any music, but I am a professional music appreciator and a supporter of the new wave of nice metal buds. So yeah, it's what we do, man. So humid. Oh, right on, Donnie. What kind of stuff are you into? Because I think I remember you saying, you know, being from Appalachia and the like, I would imagine barbecue is kind of in your blood, amongst other things. So, which is pretty awesome. So, me, I'm just a big old white boy from Southern California, so I got mostly cholesterol. Fat jokes. Okay. Sauce is ready to go. Rice is now chilling. Looks like our water's about up to boil. So that's been salted already, so we're gonna kind of let it do its thing for the time being. Now we get to move on to everything else that we need to get prepped for Bibimbap today. Actually, I can put the soy sauce away now. Okay. On the list of things to make, one of the things, one of the little sub-ingredients, because that's the thing about Bibimbap, or the mixed rice, is that it's normally a way for families to use up the little leftover side dishes that they have. Because if you're unfamiliar with the normal Korean dining, is you have your rice, usually there's a soup, some kind of protein, but then you have a wide array of little side dishes that come along with it. So things like kimchi, any number of different vegetables, there's a whole bunch of things that get made. And so with mixed rice, what ends up happening is sometimes you have leftover, you know, a bunch of these little sides, And so you make a batch of rice, you pour all these sides into it, you add a sauce, stir it up, and go to town. And that's just kind of, what you do. Yeah, barbecue, smoked stuff, and I make mostly Asian-inspired. Oh, right on. My friends do know me for my shepherd's pie, though. Nice. So, side question, is it actually shepherd's pie with ground lamb, or is it more of a cottage pie with ground beef? Because I got schooled on that by a couple of folks from England at one point, and so that's the only reason why I ask. Because I love ground lamb. I love lamb, period. So I'm all over that like white on rice. Yeah. So totally, call me. Back to the side dishes. One of the side dishes that we do, cottage pie is ground beef, from my understanding. Yep, absolutely. Okay, so you are actually doing shepherd's pie. That's awesome. Can't say I'm an expert. Hey, if you love doing it and you love eating it, then that works, right? I mean, I'm no, Thomas Keller. I'm no Joel Robuchon. I'm no world-class cook or chef or anything like that, but I love doing it, love talking about it, and I'm always learning about it, so, hey, why not? You school the folks from England to properly pronounce the word booey. I don't know what you're talking about, Scott Connor. But one of the sides is a cucumber salad, and these are just little mini kind of Persian cucumbers. They're young, and you can eat the skins. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take the ends off. We're going to slice them on the mandolin, toss them in a touch of salt, and then let them sit for a bit before draining them, and then finishing them off with everything else. And then we'll move on to the radish, which kind of the same deal. Getting it prepped and into the thing and letting it sit for a little while. And that is really... Those are the only two things that require, a little bit of time in terms of sitting. Everything else is mostly just cut up and get ready to go. And then we'll bring out the burner and we'll just start making everything happen. And then everything will come together pretty quick. So I'm just going to go give these a quick rinse and get a bowl and we'll get started. Japanese mandolin that my wife wishes that I wouldn't use as quickly as I normally do. But I've owned this thing for, I don't know, it's probably been about 13, 14 years. And just like that, we got a stack of wafer thin. Now, normally, kids, I would recommend using a cut glove or some kind of handle device in order to hang on to whatever it is you're slicing. Like I said, I've owned this for a long time, and I've used it for a really long time, and I have cut myself on it a few times. It's not fun. That was also a very long time ago. Boogie. I like ham sliced that thin. Yeah. Ham, a lot of things meat sliced that thin are really, really great. But recently... there's a really famous German deli in Portland called Edelweiss, and we went there, Saturday morning, to pick up a bunch of stuff, brats and the like, and they had just made a fresh batch of Black Forest bacon, which is delicious. Anyways, we got some and had them slice it up. And when the woman was about done, I'm like, hey, would you mind slicing me off a couple of half-inch thick slices of it? And so yesterday, I decided to make a BLT with that slab. Let me tell you, half-inch thick sliced bacon fried up is amazing. I highly recommend everybody try it at some point. Hey, Lumpy Pickle, what's going on? Yes, I'm making Bibimbap, the mixed rice. That's what we're up to today. So, yes, come along, you belong. Feel the fizz of Cuckoo Cola. Alright, I got some daikon here. And I thought I had a peeler out. It's not. Since I'm just making enough for Mrs. Weiss and myself, I'm not going to do a large amount of this. But what we're making is it's kind of normally I would be using a Korean radish, aka mu, M-U, but I had the daikon, so I'm just going to make it with that. It is a really, really common side dish to have, where it's a fresh radish salad where the radish gets julienned up and then tossed with like fish sauce, a little bit of the chili flake, garlic, sesame oil, sesame seeds, and then let sit. It's a great side for Korean barbecue. Are there any good Korean barbecue joints in your area? Yes, there are. My dining room. That's going to be the best Korean barbecue joint in the area, but there are 2 other restaurants in the pretty near vicinity that are pretty good. But my dining room table is definitely going to be better. For any number of reasons. So, we're going to give this a julienne, although, okay, make reservations at your dining room. There you go. Now, last time, we got out my cheater julienne peeler. I should call it Julie Andrews. Ready to fly. Hi! How are you doing today? Welcome, welcome from whence you ever came, be it from the ether, be it from Twitch in general, if you came through with Donnie Burbage's raid, which it should have thrown up a shout out for Mr. Burbage right off the bat, because I have things set up to do that kind of thing. But welcome, welcome. Glad that you're here. So I'm thinking we're going to use this nifty julienne peeler just to kind of show it off. It is definitely a cheater way of doing things, but sometimes you don't care. And sometimes it just kind of goes everywhere like that, so. Really depends. When I use this like on carrots, I usually like to kind of hold it down with a fork and then drag it along it. That's generally how I get like the best results. I'm kind of thinking we're just going to cut this sucker by hand because I can, so I'm going to go give this a quick rinse. Hey, Carrie Gemini, what's going on? I'm doing well, thank you. How are you this fine day? Hopefully staying cool in your neck of the woods. Or really, I should more accurately call it your neck of the cactus fields. Carrie is down in the arid zona. So I'm just slicing planks this. Okay. Then spread them out. Kind of overlap the pattern. Not that they're up so high. And that actually goes pretty quickly doing it that way. There we go. Ta-da! And that will make an excellent topping for things. So let's grab a bowl of that. Actually, what I should do is just grab a big stack of bowls. Since I'm going to end up bowls, all kinds of bowls. This, let's hit it with a little bit of the fine ground green chili powder. A little bit of that. Okay, so a touch of fish sauce. Tiniest of pinches. I wish I had a bacon and lettuce taco. Oh. Yeah. Those can be good. I don't want to add too much. I just want enough that'll kind of give it a bit of color. The fine ground stuff that I have here tends to be on the spicy side. Gilbert's pretty nice. Oh, right on. Hey, Accidental Chaos. I didn't see you come in, buddy. Welcome, welcome. It's going well. Okay, so we got that. A little bit of rice vinegar. Dash of sugar. And a little bit of garlic. That's how they roll. And let's see. Did I forget anything? Probably a dash of sesame oil. So let's do that little toss. Oh, I don't know if Donnie is still around, but if you are, I had a question for you. As you can see, I tend to rep folks on my battle apron here. And I've, repping the new wave of Nice Metal Buds. I've got the Lords of the Trident. I've got Unleash the Archers on there. Botanist. That atmospheric black, although really green metal because that's kind of their jam. Anyways, one of the patches that I wanted to put on there was Aether Realm. However, I don't recall seeing an Aether Realm patch in the merch shop. So my question was, and I kind of thought about this, is if in true Aether Realm, in the spirit of Aether Realm, if it would be okay if I made my own patch and then just send you guys some money for it. Just kind of curious if you in the band would be okay with that. Not for anyone else, just for my own personal use. Not looking to make any money. That's why I said make one for myself and then send the money to you guys for it. So, anyways, It was just an idea I had. Thought I'd run it by you, see what you thought. Okay, that done. That is chilling. We're gonna wring out the cucumbers and then toss it with a little bit of sugar, rice vinegar, and garlic. And that's ready to go. Okay, next thing we need to get is, let's do some green onions, because that is a big time. Are you gonna add kimchi to this dish? Yes, I have kimchi out in the fridge in the garage that I made. So that is out there, and I'll bring it out when the time comes to slice some of it up. I'm definitely going to add it to mine. Not sure if Mrs. Hueso is going to want to add some to hers. She's usually not a big kimchi fan. So, but I plan on adding it to mine. Okay. I'm going to go give these a rinse, and then we'll get all these sliced up. Mrs. Hueso mentioned that she was going to be working a little bit later today. Normally she'd be home by now, but... Oh! That is the 20 minutes on the natural release for the rice. And judging from the valve on top there, it is looking like all the pressure is out. Okay, this is the moment of truth here. Because if this rice sucks, that's kind of dinner. Not gonna lie, I'm a little apprehensive, but I don't know if it was really visible on camera, but the center portion of it, at least, was looking a little gummy. But, okay. That worked. That was pretty quick, too. Yeah, because it's nice and soft. It is definitely a little bit gummier than what I would like. But I think for our purposes, this will be just fine. So I'm just going to unplug that. Let me drain that. I'll slap the lid back on in order to keep it warm. To answer your question, Accidental Chaos, yes, I did. The finale was awesome. Mrs. Hueso and myself thoroughly enjoyed it. Obviously, the use of Master of Puppets was super awesome. I mentioned to, I think it was Lumpy Pickle, that I also would have accepted the use of raining blood in that particular circumstance, although Master of Puppets was really kind of perfect, given A, the fact that it's an awesome song, and B, given everything else that was going on. So, and I still think the discussion from part 1 about, without spoiling kind of like what happens, but if you've seen it, you'll understand the question, is, so the significance of the Kate Bush song to the character of Max, and what it meant in terms of the story. I'm curious what everybody else's Kate Bush song would be. If you've seen Stranger Things and you understand what I'm talking about, you'll understand the question. Like, what is your personal Kate Bush, if that makes sense? Because I had thought about that, and for me, there's a few things I think that would be my personal Kate Bush in that particular circumstance. Let's pro zucchini, and you know what? I gotta watch a couple of mushrooms too. Let's see, is there anything else I need to wash? No, so I'm gonna go give these a wash. Glass Prison by Dream Theater. That is a fascinating answer. That is it's fascinating. It's an amazing song, and that's awesome. I think for me, well, there's a few songs, really. But the one thing that really got me kind of thinking, and sorry, I'm like sitting here washing mushrooms and I'm like thinking about it at the same time. I apologize. So there's a couple of songs that I think would work for me. These are just creminis. I happen to have them. Shiitakes are mostly typical. We're just slicing these to get them prepped because then we're going to saute them up. I think, for me, one of the, kind of near the very top of my list would be Blitzkrieg Bop by
That's
Ramones,
right, it's time to
but
pound your...
specifically the version off of the It's Alive album. Hey! Victor Marone! Thank you so much for the follow, man. But yeah, the version of Blitzkrieg Bop off of their It's Alive album from 1978. Also from the Ramones' Teenage Lobotomy. From the Misfits, Where Eagles Dare. Basically anything off of Apex or Abyss by Unleash the Archers. But for me, at least, it's something that is... I would want it to evoke kind of like this, either anger or adrenaline rush. Maybe not necessarily anger, but just a song that would get me really amped up. If that makes sense. I have the song Solitary Shell. It has a riff that sounds a lot like Peter Gabriel's song. That song helped me bring endurance and speed up on the kit phenomenally. Oh, right on, Accidental Chaos. That's awesome. Right on. So I don't know. There's any number of songs that would, I think, fit that particular bill for me. I don't know. Curious what anybody else, if anybody else has given that any kind of thought. Okay, mushrooms prep. I'm only going to do half of this zucchini. Forgot that. And I'm thinking, let's do it in quarters. You know, it's fun. I mean, when I tell people, especially in kind of like the metal communities that I'm part of, that, you know, bands like the Misfits and Ramones are, you know, some of my favorite bands. Sometimes they get looked at a little oddly, just because, you know, it's one of those things that, for the longest time, you know, punk and metal, you know, were not to mix, kind of thing. But for me, they've always, I've never felt like, oh, I can only listen to one and not the other. I found stuff that I absolutely loved in both, and will frequently listen to both, just because they both have very different things to offer musically. It's one of the things that boggles Mrs. Hueso's mind, when just the thought that the Ramones are probably my favorite band of all time, because musically speaking, it's not very complex. It's not. It's pretty simple. However, the simple things tend to be the easiest things to screw up. And that's really evident when you listen to other bands that have covered them. Green Day, The Offspring, Metallica, are three of the bands off the top of my head that I can think of that when they did covers of them, it just didn't sound right, because it just wasn't played the same way, if that makes sense. So, I don't know. That's just, it's something that spoke to me at that very particular time in my life. So, yeah. I spent numerous hours learning those songs like the back of my hand. That's awesome, Accidental Chaos. Oh, you know, okay, you haven't seen Stranger Things, so you don't know, Scott Connor. Okay. Yeah, no worries, man. I tried learning Stream of Consciousness. Tried. Oh, man. Funny how that goes. Okay. Onion. Need to get that. I'm not doing a ton, but we'll do about that much. There. Up to that. Okay. Next. Carrot. Well, I got some orange as well as red bell pepper here. I need to use. So I'll throw these, and normally I would saute these up separately. Well, okay, let me back up and explain something. For today's purposes, everything is being done separately, so then that way they can be put on top of the bibimbap separately, and so it'll look super pretty and it'll make a nice, you know, kind of thumbnail, etc., etc. However, most of the time in Korean homes when they're making it, like, this stuff just gets, most like the raw vegetables, as opposed to like kind of the pre-prep like sides, that stuff just gets sauteed together all and then thrown into the bowl. Like, nobody cares about it. They just mix it up and do their thing. I'm just trying to keep things separated so then that way we can make it look super pretty. Tried to listen to Train of Thought for a week straight after I got that album. I was in class one day and I'm pretty sure the only thing I did was listen to Stream Figuring It Out. That was my first Dream Theater album, the first tour I saw of them. I actually listened to Green Day from age 10 to 12 because at 12 that's when I saw Mike Portnoy on the cover of Modern Drummer with his with his monster kit. Yeah. I did listen to Green Day for like a couple of years, and this was around the time of the Decay album, really, and their performance at I think it was whatever that first was, it Woodstock 94, I think it was, something like that. I don't quite remember. Oh, the purple one. Oh, the Mirage ones. And so, like, I picked up some of their earlier albums, like Kerplunk, and I mean, I still have fond memories of them. I can't say I really like listen to. Get out of here. This is what happens when summertime rolls around. The flies decide to roll out. Yeah, I can't really say I listened to like Nimrod or anything after that, just because I wasn't really listening to kind of the more poppy stuff at that point. I was just listening to different things, really. Okay, so that's cut up. Carrot. Alright, now I'm we'll bust out that word. Oh. Where you before? So, what I was talking about earlier is, like, what I'll do is, once I get a fork in there, then and if you got to, you know, go through a whole bunch of vegetation at once, sometimes this is the best way to go about doing it. It does lend itself to a little bit of waste, but not too much. will do it. Alright. Leave. Alright, let's go through the checklist. Sauce done, chicken done, bean sprouts, need to blanch, spinach, same with the spinach. Carrots done, onion done, mushroom done, egg will fry up at the end, rice done, zucchini done, radish done, cucumber. We can squeeze that out. So I can actually get rid of this stuff. And we can start transitioning to the actual stir frying of everything. You just sliced up julienne lemon, but I'm bummed. Oh, did you guys hear the creator of Yu-Gi-Oh! Was found dead in the sea today? Yeah, I did see that, Accidental Chaos. The same with James Caan being dead. But yeah, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Creator, that was... I can't say that I ever watched Yu-Gi-Oh! The animation, like, gave me a nervous tick. But that's really bizarre that he was found dead like that. Okay, so this has been in a little bit of salt. We've got some moisture there that we're going to go squeeze out of the sink. Then we're going to get this finished off before blanching bean sprouts and spinach. And then we're going to start stir frying the whole lot. I almost put Elf on when I heard that today. Yeah, right? Either that or like Godfather. There's a bunch of things that he was in. I don't know why it's escaping me at the moment, but... What the heck, flies? Okay. They're flying in from outside. I mean, we've had the sliding glass door open for the dogs, but... Okay. Now we can finish off this with a little bit of garlic, a little bit of rice vinegar. Now, a touch of sugar. And that gets a little bit of scallions to garnish, as does that. Okay. Let's get that mixed up real quick. Alright, got our garlic handy, we got our salt handy. We're gonna need that. Push all those off to the side. Sauce we won't need until the end. That can go away. That. Yeah, that. You're asking about kimchi exiting the chaos? This was a batch that I made. Ooh. How long has it been? But this is what remains of the batch, I should say. This is about, I don't know, 6 months. Okay. So it's pretty funky. That's okay, because I prefer it. Oh, Mrs. Waso, you're alive. And you're heading home. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, I'm almost at 200. Yeah, 171. Woohoo! Are you going to do something special once I reach it? Yes, I am, Accidental Chaos. Hey, Lidintha. 200 followers, we're going to do a giveaway. 200 followers, we're going to give away some of my seasoning salt, butt glitter, pixie dust, taco seasoning, and thinking my big kind of tweezers and a set of the pot handle dealie that I use all the time. These guys. So yeah, I believe that is what we're gonna do at 200 followers once we hit it. And that'll be something that, like, I won't just do, like, it'll be something that I actually announce. So then that way, anybody who wants to be around for it will have plenty of notification and can get in on it. And then, yeah, I'll ship that anywhere, basically. And a shrubbery. Yeah, something to that effect. Okay. Bean sprouts. We're going to give them a quick blanch, and then we're going to toss them in sesame oil, which I just put away. Sesame seeds, and some green onion, and a little bit of garlic. The spinach we're basically going to kind of leave as is after blanching them. Oh, Lumpy Pickle's home from work. Nice. So we're going to have them both on hand. And then we're going to start sauteing up everything else to get the party going. So let me get this stuff over here. And we'll change. Let's see if that's actually still working. Hey, it is! Color me amazed. Consequently, in kind of like troubleshooting what on earth was causing that camera to freeze up, I think I may have figured it out. And contrary to, at least if it's working the way that it's supposed to work, it's not a question of whether or not there's enough power. In doing a little bit of digging through some forums about webcams and stuff like that, tracking this fly, seeing if I can kill it. It appears that what potentially is the issue is that I had two different webcams plugged into the same hub, and so it's possible that it didn't like the fact that it was running two things of video. And so I spread it out so they're all in separate things now. In theory, that will take care of it. So we shall see. All right, we are up at the boil. These don't need to blanch very long. Trying to soften them up a little bit and kind of get the smell off of them, because they tend to give off a very distinct smell, being bean sprouts that they are. These are just going into cold water to shock them so they don't continue to cook. Yep. Want to get out any other additional floaties. And then the spinach This has been pre-washed, I believe. Yes. So we're literally just blanching this long enough to make it wilt. And we're done. Right. That was easy. Okay. So, bean sprouts, garlic, green onions, sesame oil,
Let's get weird, folks. Come on.
since I'm going to need more of the sesame seeds, I might as well just crush up more of them now. Okay. And that water was salted, by the way, so it's been seasoned. I don't need to add any additional salt or anything like that, or at least I shouldn't have to. And I totally spoke too soon. 'Cause I need some salt because it is bland. You live!
I wish I were.
One of them
I'm very
days.
grateful to be alive. Very happy. I have no thoughts other than auditors are the worst.
Oh,
Yeah.
more of their nonsense today.
More auditor nonsense. The end of the week, people, come on. You've been working on it all week, and today, I want to do blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. How's everyone?
That is bland.
I'm
Surprisingly
wonderful.
bland.
Right on, right on.
Like Donkey Kong.
I got camshafted. What? Oh, what does blanching mean? Sorry. So blanching is when you quickly dunk something into boiling water to just kind of barely cook it. In the case of the spinach, the normal spinach is, you know, big and kind of fluffy, but once you've blanched it, it loses a lot of its volume. I need to actually go drain the water of this and squeeze it out, so then that way I can get some flavor onto it. But yeah, blanching is just a really quick dunk, usually in boiling water. So then that way, like in this case, I mean, it's still kind of a nice, bright, vibrant green. It hasn't turned that nasty, like, overcooked color yet. Hi, Jamie. Not bad. So I did like 3 big handfuls of spinach. After blanching and then squeezing out of the excess water, this is what remains. Not very much. Done got swos. From you? Yes, yes I did. No, no, understandably, you want to get the heck out of there. Alright. A little bit of garlic. Salt. Sesame seeds. Sesame oil. Okay. That's now ready to go. Okay. So we can put team stuff that is ready to be added to it as is over there. And then team still needs to be cooked over here. But I'm going to leave the green onions over here just because we're going to be using them for garnish on a few things. Let me get these out of the way. Bring out good friend butane burner. I got an extra canister just in case. Spinach stirred bump. Okay, I think you're about ready. Hands a quick wash. Dishwasher down. Oh, you haven't seen the new loading screen, have you? That's okay. So, for those that weren't here at the very beginning, I redid my loading screen. So I'm just going to throw it up real quick just so you can kind of check it out, and then we'll be back in just a moment. Is the mic still on? Yeah, the mic's still on. So yeah, this is my new loading screen, including the dumpster fire nightlight that my brother got me. Music should be playing. Okay, good. But yeah, there you go. Is it? Yeah. But that's the loading screen. Yeah, I spent quite a bit of time working on that logo. I probably have a dozen different color variations of it. Okay. This. Got that. And let's see. Knew I brought it over here. This is the shallot, the last of the shallot / scallion oil from Saturday. So yes, I'm totally going to use that to saute things up. Now, when it comes to the strategies for sauteing the sides, again, you could just throw everything together, and that's totally fine. It's totally acceptable. Please, for your own sanity, definitely do it that way. However, as I have demonstrated previously, I am not totally right in the head when it comes to these sorts of things, so I'm actually going to do it in a very specific way. We're going to do the onions first, and we're going to work our way up to, like, the stuff with color. So, like, we'll go from the onions to the zucchini, into the mushrooms, then we'll hit, like, the bell peppers here, and then we'll finish on the carrots. And the reason for that... Oh, and then lastly, the meat, which you can get back out. The reason is then that way, like, if you cook the carrots first, and then you go do the onions afterwards, the onions will kind of turn orange. And you don't want to have that when you're trying to make this really beautiful sort of presentation. So that is where we're at with that. All right. Let's get the party started. And I'm going to need some. And I've got that bowl for the meat. Okay. A little bit of that oil. Don't need a heck of a lot. Oh man, that stuff is so fragrant. Have you tried turning it off and on again? Uh-oh. Oh, okay. Quotes from the Adam and Eve story. Jeez. Alright. Touch of salt. And I'm just trying to get these till they're translucent and kind of softened up a little bit just to take the rawness off. That's it. I'm not looking to caramelize these. And we'll bit of garlic. Okay. That's how quick and easy the onions are. Back on the heat. Rinse and repeat. A little bit of the oil. And this is maybe 1/2 to 3/4 of a teaspoon at most. Mushrooms. A little bit of salt. All right. Time for the zucchini. Salt. And a little bit of pepper right there. I'll let this go for a little bit longer. It's still a little bit on the firmer side. I just want to soften it up a bit. Okay, these are looking like they are ready. Next, bell pepper. Salt. Really, all the time's in the preparation of everything because it cooks up super quick, which is kind of nice. Sadly, it's still zucchini. Yes, it is. But lumpy, when it's mixed in with everything else, it's not bad. Because by itself, it is, well, super bland, and it's there. Okay, I still got time. It's like, yeah, it's there. But, when you get it mixed in with other stuff, I prefer it that way. Alright, bit of garlic. Last but not least, the carrots. Well, not last, because we still have to do the meat. Last of the vegetation, I'll say that. And a little bit of garlic. At this point, I'm just trying to cook out the rawness of the garlic to mellow it just a touch. Okay. Carrots. Done. Alright. Put a little bit more of that oil. Okay. In case you're wondering what was in the chicken, if you hit !point recipe, it'll take you to the post on the Discord, and it'll show you the ingredients that went into it. Keep checking the flame because when I checked the canister earlier, it felt like it was probably about a third full. So I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't running out of flame. I mean, I got another canister right here ready to go, but I just wanted to make sure. I've seen a couple of episodes of IT Crowd. The funniest one was the internet in the box. Agreed. Decay is strong to the finish because he squoze spinach. Yeah, that too. It's still going. I keep checking, but I got my canister right here ready to go just in case. Got my bowl ready. In the meantime, I'm going to put some stuff away because that's going to take a hot minute. There. That. Smells really good. I'm excited for this chopped chicken to get mixed into the bibimbap. Seems like it's on the low side. I'm thinking, let's swap out the canister. Like, it just didn't feel like it was putting out the heat. There we go. Like the heat was dying. Sweet. That'll be ready in a couple of minutes. Had to get the appropriate silverware for everything. Okay, low on gas. Yeah. Not normally. You know, I was thinking about this. This is a totally gluten-free meal. There is no gluten in this whatsoever. Well, actually, hang on. That's not entirely true, now that I think about it. Because there was soy sauce it used in a couple of things. And the soy sauce generally has some kind of wheat in it. But there are soy sauce alternatives that are gluten-free. So like coconut aminos, tamari. So there are some options available for those that need a gluten-free diet for whatever reason. To make it and the fish sauce, now that I think about it. And there are alternatives. I mean, to be honest, I could use like just straight up salt. That's if you're trying to go for something vegan. And then as opposed to the chicken, you could very easily do tofu. And there's other protein alternatives that you could certainly use to make it totally vegan if you wanted to. Because sometimes you find yourself, or at least I have found myself, cooking for a mixed group of individuals where some folks are, full on omnivores, everything's fine. Other folks have specific dietary restrictions. And instead of being like, okay, well, I'm going to do one meal for you guys, one meal for you, and one meal for you, you just have to be able to think your way through, okay, well, how can I make the meal in such a way so that most of it can be eaten by everybody, and then there's only a couple of small pieces that would need to be changed out. So being able to think about that kind of thing tends to be important if you're, feeding a crowd or a group of people. Then if it's like an especially large group of people, and if it's something like I'm doing myself, for the most part, if somebody's got some kind of like major food allergy or something like that, they'll usually have an alternative that they'll end up bringing. But if it's something that, I've been talked to ahead of time about, and I'm able to plan accordingly, and it's not such a massive addition to the workload, then usually we can accommodate them. Okay. Excellent. All right. That is all done. Let me get this out of here. Alright, so now we have basically everything that we need ready to go. We can start plating up. Hey, baby! Well, then, I'm not going to worry about it. Solid helping of rice right in the middle. Oh, I almost forgot one of the most important parts. The fried egg. Pork loin is good eats. Yes, it is. Yes, we do like pork loin. It's not a Putin-free meal. No, not usually. If you ever want to ruin your faith in humanity, working tech support will do it. Yeah, this is true. Okay. I'm going to go fry up a couple eggs real quick. Gotta have a fried egg on top. In the meantime, alright, let's get some ground meat. Side there. Now, spinach there. I'm trying to, because there's a number of things that are kind of green in here, I'm trying to kind of alternate, so then that way it makes for a prettier kind of presentation. Alright, so let's do yep. Cucumber salad. Let's go back over this. you. Oh, broke the eel.
Wah, wah. I'm tired. That looked like a lot of rice on stream. Oh, it's not as bad as it looks on the picture.
No,
I was like, I don't want that much rice, but
that's fine. That's why this bowl's not for you.
yeah, not for me. Okay, question for the group. May have asked this before. I just finished reading an amazing book called Project Hail Mary. It was phenomenal. One of the best books I've ever read. I've not read a lot of books though. So what do you recommend? I need a new book. So book recommendations, please. Yeah, if you haven't read Project Hail Mary, highly recommend it. I'm excited to eat all of this.
Uh-oh.
That's okay. Yeah, it's by Andy Weir. Oh my gosh, it's so good. I cry at points and laugh and...
Do you want to fry up your own egg?
Sure. I can fry my own egg. I'm all grown up.
Okay.
But
I will leave you to it because the heat is on.
the heat is on.
Alright. Got that in. Oh, need to do radish salad. And what's
Da-na-na-na.
Da-na-na-na-na.
Should I season egg or no?
Yeah, I would hit it with a little bit of salt.
Pepper?
If you'd like. There's the sauce for the bibimbap that I figured would end up being drizzled over it.
I resisted.
Did you?
Hardly. I had a hard time resisting, but I did. Made by Steve Alton? Yeah, I heard The Martian was good. I have not read it. Then this was really one of my first sci-fi books. I usually read sort of crime stuff, but my friend recommended this, and I just finished a book, another book she recommended, and so I was like, okay, it's like, it was amazing. So yeah, I saw there was a book by Neil Gaiman very similar that came as like, if you read Project Hail Mary, then you should read blah 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 by Neil Gaiman. Hey, don't judge me.
Let's see. Okay.
We're probably older than you anyways.
Got all that going on. And I believe now it is time for bibimbap sauce that I made earlier.
Woo! Perfect. I'm an expert at eggs.
Let's see. Mm. Yes?
I want to transfer this to... What was in this bowl?
Which one? The black one?
Yeah.
Nothing.
I need to transfer my egg to risk transferring it again. I should probably get a bowl.
No, you got a bowl over here.
I have a bowl over here apparently. Woo! Oh, is that what this bowl is?
Yes.
How did you like the rice in the Instapot?
So I made the Korean rice. It's not the good Japanese rice. But it came out pretty good. I think this size Instant Pot would benefit from more rice in it. So there's that. I made kind of the usual amount that I would make in the rice cooker. But I used the water that the bag recommended. So,
It's a big bowl.
Okay.
May I get back in there?
Yes. 1 second. Let me do the beauty shot real quick.
Nice.
Money shot. There is the Bibimbap.
Mhm.
That's some good looking mixed rice.
As for Lumpy, as to what kind of books, I kind of all of the above. This last book has taught me not to judge or stick to one genre. I only recently discovered that I like reading. So I put my egg on top of this?
Yeah, the egg. Well, the egg goes on top if you put all the toppings in first.
Well,
And that is like no rice.
Yes, I like
a cup of rice.
Okay, fine. It's a cup.
I already had a bunch of rice today.
Did you?
Yes, I went to Panda Express.
Oh.
The lady, hello, I called you, remember?
That's right. No. Oh, excuse me.
You're busy, I know. We talked on the phone. Gals and I went and picked it up. Yeah, so I'm open to all kinds of books.
Post mix up.
My half brother recommended Ready Player One, which I thoroughly enjoyed that. Way better than the movie. I usually like movies more, just because, you know, it's...
Yeah, but you like the movie.
I love the movie, but the book's better.
Okay. Hmm.
I was just afraid the book would ruin the movie, and it didn't.
Hmm.
Okay. I'm missing this radish.
I'm just looking to see who's currently on.
I need to write down those book ideas. Or Lumpy, you can just text them if you want.
That's true.
You have my number. As you're about done with your meal, I haven't even finished making mine. That's just teasing. Couple of green onions, couple more because my hands are little.
Did you put any of the sauce on?
No. What else am I missing?
I think that's it. Did you put any kimchi in yours?
I put this one. Let me put regular kimchi.
You don't have to.
I know. I know I don't have. These spinach is fantastic. And it's good for you.
And we got more of it, so.
Do I do this stuff too or no?
No.
Okay.
Not unless you want more crushed sesame seeds.
Yeah, I have an email address. I have many email addresses.
You can send her a message on the Discord.
Oh yeah, do it that way. On the Discord. I'm not giving it out over this, but obviously. But yeah, send a message. What happened to all those cupcakes?
What happened to what?
Oh, that's a whole bunch of cupcakes.
They've been consumed.
Oh, good. Yeah.
There's still 2 left.
Yeah. Scott, when you're out, we will take you to Powell's. It's impressive. Definitely get lost in there.
Mm.
Old Man's War. That sounds interesting.
Pretzel Puppy. Welcome, welcome.
Pretzel Puppy. Where I was asking about books, Pretzel Puppy. I just finished reading Project Hail Mary by Weir, and it was one of the best books I ever read. So the folks here were giving me some book ideas.
And in the meantime, we're currently mukbanging the Korean Bibimbap that we made for dinner tonight, including all the little sides and everything else that you see down here. I'm here to see... Oh, is that so?
You're here to see...
That's okay. Well, you know, I get it. Thanks, Lumpy Pickle.
I'm here to see your tits. Oh!
There you go.
Hey, that's tacky snacks. The apron comes off.
That's right. That's right.
You got...
After dark, that's when the titties come out.
Well, that's when the apron comes off.
That's when the apron comes off. The titties might come out too. If we ever do a hot tub stream.
No.
Peace.
Okay, Old Man's War, that's what it was.
That's a first for me.
What?
Well, that's the first time that we've had a rude visitor.
Was that an actual person?
Yes.
Oh.
Hot tub stream, I'm here for it. Yeah. At some point.
Too hot for a hot tub indeed. It'll be the neck up in the hot tub. Not that we own a hot tub. We need to get one first. But hey, if people want to pitch in and buy us a hot tub, I will do a hot tub stream. Clothes.
I can go to the farm supply and get a trough.
Now we can go to our friend's house. She's got a hot tub.
Oh, yeah. We can totally remote it.
Tim 11 is good. I like horror. When I was younger, I used to read a lot of Stephen King. As I've gotten older, I can't say I like it as much. It's not that I don't like the horror part. It's just, I don't know. It seems like it's...
Kind of basic.
Yeah. Like, it's not...
Yeah.
It's just kind of basic. Like, yeah, it's a story. I could have...
It's not the most complex writing.
Yes.
Yeah, no, you're totally right, Lumpy. It's inevitable, but it's surprising in a food and beverage stream. That's all I'm saying. But hey, hats off to you.
What did you read, Scott Connor? I read, a decent amount. I suppose I should take a bite of my food.
That'd be helpful.
You just mix it all up?
Yeah, you just mix it all
It
up.
was pretty.
It was pretty, which is why I got the money shot.
Money shot.
Salem's Lot's an amazing book.
I didn't read Salem's Lot. I read it.
What 2 books by Stephen King have you read, Scott Connor? I'm curious.
Obbyverse by Taylor. Obbyverse?
May have added a little too much sauce. It's got a bit of a punch to it.
Yep.
In fact, I'm going to go grab a couple of antacid.
Oops. Add to list. Books. Thanks. Oh.
For reference, my eyes are sweating.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Oh. Oh, it's self shut off. I had it on and running.
That's so awesome.
It is awesome.
Thanks, Choir Creamsicle.
Squire Creamsicle. There you go. Words.
Words are hard. I've been stumbling on them all day today, and my coworker's been noting every single stumble.
The one that's in your office itself? The one that lives under a bridge? Yeah. That's kind of her thing.
She's very nice, and I like her. She is what I would turn into had I never met Decay.
Someone who lives under the bridge and demands a toll from people to cross.
Doesn't eat anything.
She refuses to eat rice because it's like eating maggots.
And no judgment, man.
Her exact words.
But. And I really like her. She's an amazing person.
But it makes me wonder, did you eat a lot of maggots as a kid?
No. I'm sure she didn't eat it.
See that?
Oh, perfect. Thanks, Scott Connor.
The link will pop up in the VOD.
Okay, well, I'm going to get it right now.
Okay.
My laptop needed to be plugged in. It's been at the kitchen table for too many days.
Mm.
Ooh. I'll have to be able to do this.
Oh yeah, since you're not logged into the chat, it won't register.
It was earlier.
Hang on. There we go.
This is very good. And it smells and tastes of everything of Korea.
It does. There, I got the link open in another tab, so we're good to go.
I'm surprised there's no fish cake in this. Like, that would be a good additive.
It's not something you typically see in
Really?
Bibimbap, no.
Oh. It's been a Dr. Pepper day. I'm gonna go get one.
Grab me one too.
Yeah. It's been one of those days.
I'm really glad I did the chicken like this because that's super good. Thank you. This recipe would be also great over rice as saborodon, Japanese dish.
I think it would, Scott. This recipe be good with ground turkey and
With a mix of ground beef and turkey? Yeah, totally.
Mm-hmm. I think shrimp would be good in this.
Yeah. It's
kind of whatever protein you want.
Yeah, it really is. Beef is most commonly used, but you can certainly use pork, you can use chicken, you can use turkey, shrimp, tofu, protein alternatives. Certainly. There's no reason why you couldn't. Very, very tasty. Oh, Scott and Mrs. Oiso got the link. So. But, yeah, well, I think that's about it for today, folks. Food turned out great. I'm very happy with it. Should have added less of the bibimbap sauce, because I'm feeling it. Kroger sells a mix of ground beef and ground turkey, and the taste is just different enough, but interesting. Okay, yeah, totally. Go for it, man. There's no reason why that won't work. So, yeah, thank you to everyone that came through today. Thank you to Donnie Burbage and crew that rated. Thanks for everyone that, popped up in chat, even our troll, because, hey, he popped the troll cherry, so huzzah. Yes, and then you got Mrs. Wayso to say tits. So you got that too. Yeah, hey, good times abound. And yeah, so we'll be back on Saturday. I'm thinking we should do that Greek pizza.
Okay. And I'm gonna bring to the one text you. And this is my in front of everyone. We need to have ribs sometime soon.
Mrs. Wayso has declared that we need to have ribs sometime soon. So if I'm doing ribs, just as an FYI, what I have found is that for sous vide ribs at 145 degrees Fahrenheit for 36 hours do the trick. So if that's something that we want to do on stream, that's something I'm going to have to start like a day and a half early, which is not a problem. You know, I'm happy to do it. It just, you know, requires a little bit of pre-planning. Although it would be kind of funny to have a sous vide cam going for that straight 36 hours. Oh boy, the VOD on that, it'd be like, you know, 5 terabytes or something like that. That'd be really funny. Instant Pot's great for ribs. You know, I've seen an Instant Pot recipe for ribs. I am tempted to give it a shot. Yes, it doesn't take all day. It's like, what, 15 minutes a pound, I think, or something like that. I remember seeing a recipe recently. So, I don't know. Maybe. Maybe that's what we'll do. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways. Thank you again, everyone, for being here. Take care, everybody. Love you all. Thank you to the new followers, Rick Samurai and Victor Marionnet. You know, thank you so much, everyone. You being here is awesome, and I really appreciate it. So, take care. Love you all. And I will see you online, and I will see you Saturday. So, take care, folks.
Hello, boys and ghouls. DK's making a snack today. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? DK's making a snack today. Shove it right into your mouth. DK's making a snack today. What's it gonna be? Is he making it for me? DK's making a snack today. It's time for tactical snacking with DK. Making a snack today. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? DK's making a snack today. Shove it right into your mouth. DK's making a snack today. What's it gonna be? Is he making it for me? DK's making a snack today. It's time for tactical snacking with DK. Making a snack today. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?